Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Maz. It has been a while. This is this will be episode 15. In this episode, you'll notice, I think the last time we met, it was, if I just check my notes here, so I shuffle some paper so it makes it sound like I'm checking my notes. We left each other in May, the second day of May, and now it's the first day of September. I've had a heck of a time. So work has caught up. I mean, I've mentioned a number of times, both my kids race motocross. Well, right now only one of them is, because one of them in a race 2 weekends ago, my youngest kid drove through a fence and broke his femur. Missed the very last corner on the very last lap of the first race of 2 races. He decided rather than turning the corner to go hit the final jump, he would just go straight through a fence. Broke his femur, airlifted, all kinds of good stuff. Bad stuff, really, but I'm saying good stuff. And anyway, so it's been a heck of a few weeks, anyways, with work and with him and with the other kids still racing. And it's summertime, so we're trying to do as much stuff as we can outside. So it has really hampered the producing a video process. But that has not stopped me from playing the game, because while I'm sitting here waiting for files to transfer or whatever else, what other projects I'm getting uploaded and that kind of stuff, I'm typically always playing the game. So I thought, well, you know what? Maybe what I'll do is I'll play. I won't play one of the maps that I have going. I'll just start like an off-brand map or whatever. But I couldn't do it. I had to. I just love playing this map. So I've been recording gameplay basically from the second day of May up until now, and I've got a ton of stuff done. So I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna flip to a quick recap right now and take you on a bit of a ride. Show you what we've done. You know, why, for example, I'm looking at my cornfield right here, and whatever else we got going on, and then we'll be right back. All right, so like I said, we last met up on the second day of May, at which point we had $241,000. So we were in desperate need of a harvester. We had some harvesting that was going to be coming up, plus all the contracts that we were going to want to take advantage of, and we did not want to be leasing harvesters and everything anymore. And lo and behold, what's in the used market but a harvester. So we scored a Kloss harvester at 56% off for like $31,000, which was amazing. And I don't think I ever used this one before. I was a little concerned at first. I thought maybe it was going to be kind of like the Dominator or whatever we started off Comlands with, which was so loud. But this one turned out to be good. Plus, you could push out the rear axle, you could get bigger tires, you could customize the color. It wasn't great for color customization because there was some stuff that you couldn't control. So in the end, we sort of ended up with a bit of a Captain Canada type color scheme, which then we were able to go and get a same modder, I guess, almost 6.5, 6.6 meter header, and added a header trailer as well. So it was nice to get that back to the farm. And then after that, it was basically just fertilizer contracts. Man, we did so many fertilizer contracts. So I don't even know. So I mean, basically we would take 3. I would lease the cheapest. So the cheapest lease would be, like $40 or $50 to lease a tractor, a weight and the spreader. And then I'd buy, so the spreader had a capacity of 3,000 liters, so I would buy 2 1,500 liter bags, basically. Best deal on the market is this one cube of fertilizer. You spend $1,000 for 1,500 liters, and then you use like 1,000 liters, and then they reimburse you like $3,000. Like, it's crazy. So you make money on the fertilizer, but you got to make sure you only buy 1 cube at a time, otherwise you get charged for 3 cubes for some reason. But anyways, yeah. So we closed out May with an absolute crap ton of fertilizer contracts. I would just keep cashing one in and then accepting the next one, and we were all over the map doing those contracts. So that was a lot of fun. Then in June, so on the first day of June, we bought 2 fields that had oats ready to harvest. So I had my eyes on both of these fields. I got to remember, I think it's 101 and 114. So I think 101 is the triangular field. So we bought that field. My intention is to own all the fields in that line. and be able to make sort of a bigger field there. So we started with this one. We were able to buy it. We were able to harvest the oats that were on there, and then collect the straw, which is good. Then I think it's 114 is the one across the road. That one, I have every intention of also buying the sunflower field right next to it and making a large field there. But it has a bit of an area that's undeveloped as a field. It's grass and scrub trees. So we got to get that cleaned up. But I managed to harvest that one as well. Pulled a bunch of straw off of that, and and it was good. So we've decided. So then I decided to save all the oats. So the oats are going to go towards. Basically, we're going to be making flour at some point here once we can buy the production. So basically, I just dumped everything into the silo. Now, the straw that we were taking off, I put a silo, specific silo in back at the main sort of shop yard, whatever. I've decided I'm going to be putting cows in here on this lot. So we put a silo in for that, just for the straw, basically, and I'll be doing hay bales. So after the fields, I basically mowed and dried it up or tedded it or whatever, and made bales for the cows. So that included some new equipment. Obviously, we had the mowers remember we saw it on sale. We bought a cloth mower, I think maybe, I can't remember, but we bought the mower and I ended up having a problem with the front, so we ended up having to trade that for a different front mower. It rode too low, so I couldn't turn when it was down, which was kind of a pain in the butt. But then we also picked up a tedder, and I think we picked up we picked up a tedder, and we picked up the baler. So we got the good old $12,000 square baler. And then I proceeded to get, I think, what is that, 114? I want to say it's 114, but basically what a pain in the butt that was, getting that section cleaned up, getting all the scrub trees chipped. I plead for map authors not to bury trees halfway into the ground, so we have to, lower the ground so we can chop these trees out of the ground. It's such a pain in the butt. But anyways, we got it all cleaned up, and that'll sort of allow us to expand that field now. All right, and then in the second day of June, I kind of went nuts. We had this that square of trees, that square of trees right kind of on our original lot. So we had the original lot, and then we bought that second one where we've taken out a lot of the trees and expanded that grass field. Well, we still have that other chunk, and there's a large oil production that I want to put in, and I'm kind of on the fence of whether or not I want to put it into this area that we've now cleared out. Or I want to buy. There's a piece of property up by the store, anyways, the delivery points up in the sort of northwest corner. It's a kind of a lot and a small field. So I was thinking either I could buy that and put the production up there, or I could put it into this new area that we just cleared out. Regardless of what we do with this new area, by the time I chipped all the trees and put them into storage, we now got to 1 million. Wood chips, which is crazy. So with 1 million wood chips, once we hit max value, that's essentially $1 million, which is nuts. And then I got to basically expand that new field, 114 or whatever. So managed to, where the area where we had cleaned out in the previous day, we were able to kind of get in there and mow it and then get it lined up. And same thing with the other triangular field there. Got it prepared. Even had to, there's no entrance to that field, which is really weird. So I ended up going in and getting the ditch taken care of. I put in a bit of a span there, which is good. So the first day of July, we started with $5,400. That's a long way from the second day of May of 241,000. But we also have 1 million liters of wood chips, which is crazy. These small buildings have been weighing on me. So we basically spawned everything that were in the small productions. So spawned all the pallets and got all that sold, and then basically sold the buildings. And then set everything to store. So right now we're just storing everything. I will put in the oil production soon, and then we'll be able to take all the sunflower sunflowers, canola, and olives, and put those into oil production. And then we got to figure out what to do with the vegetables, and we got to figure out what to do with, I guess, primarily the vegetables, right? We may just set those to sell or something. I don't know yet what to do with that. Then we mowed and put all of that into the fermenter. The fermenter feeds directly to the BJA, which then enables us to make digestate, which feeds directly into the fertilizer production. And then the BJA also makes electricity and methane or methane, depending on where you live in the world. So we had no silage at all, so we needed that grass to go in there so we could start making silage again. And then we took some harvesting contracts, got the hay, the straw from that, which was good, and made a couple bucks. I got, I think I don't even know if I lasted one load of straw at the far end of the map before I was upgrading our forage wagon. I had to get that thing upgraded so we could actually go from 13,000 liters capacity to 35,000. So at the beginning of July, the second day of July, I found myself wondering what it would be like to grow cotton. I've never done cotton on a map, in a playthrough or anything. It's not a cheap business to get into, but we're sitting on, essentially $1 million when you look at the wood chips that we've got sitting there. So if we were able to use that $1 million to buy a couple large plots of land and merge them all together to make ourselves a big ass cotton field, maybe we could get ourselves a cotton harvester, and that could be something. Yeah, so I noticed this cotton harvester in the sale, and I could not help but think, what would it be like to harvest cotton? We took a small harvesting contract, primarily just so we get the straw. The money really doesn't matter much, but the straw keeps the BJA flowing, or keeps the cows fed, right? Depending on where we're going to put it. And then we put in a cow shed. I was really pumped to find this cow shed. It's basically the same style as our other shed. This cow shed holds 45 cows, so we're going to start there. I think I bought 5 cows to put in there initially. Loaded up the straw and threw in some hay bales, so that way the cows could get going. But yeah, the thing I like about this cow shed is I could also put in another one if I needed to, and then we'd have 90. And I don't want a ton of cows, so I mean that might be enough, but we'll see how it goes. I also added an external manure heap, so we could start immediately reaping the benefits of, or should I say, wreaking the benefits of manure as we throw that into the BJA to make all the good stuff the BJA makes. And then we went and we fertilized our grass fields. It looked like they needed it, and actually, I mean, according to the mini map and the color change, I guess they did need it, but it was nice just to get some fertilizer down there. We want to make sure we get nice fluffy grass. And that was it for the month of July. All right, we woke up on the first day of August with $41,000 in the bank, which was great. And when we looked at the harvesting map, or whatever you want to call it, everything was yellow. It was like your mind just explodes all of a sudden. You're like, oh my God, there's so much to do. So anyways, I had our wheat field that needed harvesting. So then I put all the wheat we got, I put directly into the silo for the eventual production that we're going to buy. And then I'm pretty sure I put the straw. Yeah, I did. I put the straw from that field into our cow silo, which I think got us up to around 230,000 liters of straw. So those cows will have a nice bedding for forever, basically. Then we moved over to our oat field, which was very satisfying, harvesting those oats. And the entire time I was harvesting those oats, I was busy looking at the wheat field that separates our corn field and our oat field. So basically we bought that. Now, in order to generate the money to buy that, I realized after how I could have done this differently, but I set the fertilizer to sell. And then when the time came, we went from basically $45,000 to like $71,000. So it was a good sale, but there was a couple grand left on the table there. We could have I've reduced the capacity of our truck, And then that's enabled us to now pick things up like for example, the combine wouldn't empty into that truck with that sort of extra cage on top that we've been using with the wood chips. So as soon as we went to a normal capacity-ish, normal-ish, whatever, and then you no longer had that sort of mesh cage on top, now we could put crops in from the harvester, which also then turns out we can go and fill up at the manure heap, which also means we can fill up at the fertilizer production without needing an auger or anything. You just go right next to it, hit load, and off you go. With $71,000 in the bank, we bought that wheat field, which was awesome. And then we harvested it, which was good. All right, then after that, we managed to score a trailer, which was good because up until now we had all of our hay bales stacked up on that one trailer, and we wanted to sell some palleted stuff into the city, and we weren't able to do that because we had we're loaded up. We could have obviously unloaded those hay bales, but we didn't. So we scored a trailer. It was over 60% off, which was fantastic. So that was really helpful. And then we went and we sold some furniture, made about 12 grand off of that. And then the balance of the first day of August was quite productive. We got 3 canola fields planted. It's tough, right? Because right now the only thing we can plant is canola, and then after planting canola, I think it's wheat and barley. And beyond that, we kind of have to just leave things dormant, I guess, unless we wanted to plant grass. And until the spring when we can then go back and plant everything. So we're a little bit off schedule, I guess, as far as the fields are concerned. We're getting these nice big fields, and they're going to sit over the winter with nothing in them. But anyways, we did manage to get 3 canola fields planted, and then after we got those 3 canola fields planted, we merged the what was now the oat and wheat field. And then once we get our corn harvested, then obviously we'll be able to merge that into this one nice size field here, which is awesome. All right, as we wake up on the second day of August, although there are a ton of harvesting contracts available, we're going to take the day to prep that. So there's that where we just merged the oat and wheat field. With the corn field on the end, there's a corner which is all trees that sort of borders that pond. So we're going to take the day to clean out all those trees, get them chipped and put into the silo, and then get the ground cleared up. So that way, when we do harvest that cornfield and we go to merge that cornfield into the other field, we'll be able to then include this corner as well and have ourselves a nice big clean field and open up the view to the sewage pond or whatever that is, that ugly pond. But our efforts are rewarded with a final total at the end of the day of a little over 1.5 million liters of wood chips, which are going to go a long way towards. We'll dump a lot of that money back into our farm. I mean, at this point, we could potentially just end the series having hit our goal once we sell those wood chips. Right, we had our loan long time paid off. I believe we might still have a cedar that's leased, which we'll have to get that paid off right away. And then it won't be long before we have $1 million in our bank account, which is essentially the goal of the series. But I really like playing this map. So like we were talking about earlier, perhaps, we get into something like cotton or whatever. Like lots of things that I still want to do on the map. So by no means am I looking at just hitting the $1 million and ejecting. But anyways, that's where we end up the day. Okay, well, that's what we've been doing. As you can see, we have progressed considerably from when we left. We've got some loose plans, but plans nevertheless. And yeah, so that's kind of what's happening. So this morning, actually, I don't know if I included that in the little tour there. But this morning, I got onto a couple contracts. So we've done some harvesting. You caught me. I was just in there warming up some food, taking a quick break. It's about 10:20 in the morning here. We've been up since 6. So we're doing some contracts, collecting some straw. We put some of the straw into our newer silo here that I showed you. Hopefully showed you 284,000 liters of straw that will probably be more than enough for our 5 cows here. I thought we had 6, but I guess we have 5. This will grow over time. I mean, we can put 45 in here, and then ideally we'll have another one of these here, so we'll have about 90. I don't want to get into 7,000 cows. What a pain in the butt that is. I just want enough that we can get the dairy at some point here. But for now, we have this, which is generating slurry, which we can put into our BJ. And then I did take a load of manure already over to the BJ, so we can continue making digestate and selling electricity and methane. Or methane, depending on where in the world you are. I always love when we hear our British friends call it methane. That is how it's spelled, I guess. Pressing matter at hand right now. So the month of September... I don't really want to go do a ton more contracts. There are contracts available. Here, I'll show you quickly. Right, we have cultivation here. We have more harvesting contracts. And then we can go and plant, I guess. But look at that one, almost $5,000 to plant barley. I mean, I could just get a worker on that probably. Well, okay, we got our own problems at home first. Let's figure out what we can do here. So I noticed when I was driving by that... this field here. So what I wasn't doing was spraying the fields. On Comlands, I got into the habit, and I can't remember now who I saw doing that, but I got in the habit of spraying fields as soon as they were planted, and I never had a problem with weeds. I rolled this field. I don't have a sprayer, so I was not spraying. I did... Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's right. I didn't plow this field. I think it was just cultivated. No, it was harvested, and then I think I did like a direct seed. I don't even remember. But anyways, regardless, we have a weed problem now. So I did actually check out so we have to be narrows or buy a specific, spraying self-propelled sprayer, which are very expensive. I tried to see if I have a narrow tire option for this tractor, and I do not. I was going to look to see if I had one for the Massey, this little guy here, but then I thought, well, if there's any kind of a decent sized sprayer, maybe I want to use something a little bit bigger. Plus, I just like that thing with looks like a little go-kart with the duals on the back. So that leaves us with the, what is this, a Massey? I don't even remember what this is. Yeah, that leaves us with the bigger Massey. And if you can believe it, which I couldn't believe it, there's an option for narrows. This thing is going to look absolutely ridiculous with narrow tires. So if I go to Trelleborg, there. Yeah, that does look ridiculous. You're right. That reminds me of when Whistling Diesel put wagon wheels onto his Hellcat. I want to remember what wheels I had on this. So currently we've got the Nokian wide tires, and I do like the look of that. So we're going to go to Trelleborg. The goofiest looking narrow tires. Oh man, that looks so silly. Okay, so I am going to get on the I'm going to get on the phone with the store, and just so I don't have to be out in public for too long, I'm going to get them to set me up with a sprayer. And we'll get these fields sprayed. I ended up having to turn around to go back for a second because I realized I did not bring the weight. And then I also realized that I had the front linkage on before customizing for the narrows, but for some reason when I hit customize, that option wasn't checked again. So I had a little bit of confusion on my part there trying to figure out what to do. But we got the front linkage back, and we got the weight on, and we still look ridiculous. Anyway, so I spent some money, about 30 grand or so. I was going to get this. This is the Kubota sprayer. We had this on Comlands, where we then had the matching containment container unit that we'd throw on the front. So typically this sprayer would have a capacity of about, I think, 12 or 1,800 liters. And then this particular one then has the option to... you could beef it up to like 7,000 liters. So in Comlands, I went with the standard capacity on the back, and then I added the front. I spent like $5,000 for the front, which gave me another, I don't know, let's say 5,000 liters. So basically, I think I had about 6,000 liter capacity and it was like 26 grand for the sprayer and then another 5 grand for the front container. Well, I don't know, maybe I'm just being a frugal millionaire, but in this case here, I could beef the rear capacity, the sprayer capacity, up to like 7,000 liters, and it only cost me a couple grand. So realistic, I don't know. Frugal, definitely. We figured out how to get the most jam the most in there for the least amount of money. But let's see how much patience we have for fuel today. I almost ran out of fuel a couple times. So these are the areas that we really want to focus on. So this is the field. So here's canola. So that's our canola field. That's our canola field right there, and that's our canola field. So we'll spray those. Here we have our grass field. Then we have our other grass field right here. This one is actually ready to mow right now. So my hope is that I can basically purchase these 3 here, so we can have this block. And then over here, once we harvest the corn out of this one, we'll merge this field. So this will be big. And then as you saw, we took on all the trees out of here to get ourselves to a little over 1.5 million in wood chips, just sitting there ready to sell. Oh, we're full. $961. Holy crap. That's a lot of fuel. Anyways, yeah, so we'll build that, so we'll have a nice big field right here. And I think what we'll do is we'll sit on this and probably wait until spring, at which point we will plant corn in there. So this one's for sale right now and there's nothing in it, and so is this one. Ideally what I should have, like, I could take this road out, no problem. Ideally these should be ours. Maybe not this one, because there is a road there that I use quite a bit. So we only have $42,000 right now, and it's almost 40 grand. That one's more money than we have. It's almost 60 grand. And that one's like 35. So I don't really want to just buy these fields right now. I like the fact that the fields have nothing in them, because then I don't have to feel like I'm plowing up crops if they go and plant something horrible like a root crop, of which I've managed to completely avoid. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. There's our grass field that's ready to mow. This other one over here is almost. I guess what I'm going to need to do is make hay bales so we can feed the cows, because I only have so much hay. I must look really silly. I think I look pretty cool right now with that sprayer on the back, to be honest. But I guess I do look kind of silly with these wheels, because I did get sideswiped at least once on the way over here. And I swear I heard them yell loser, but maybe I didn't. Okay, so that field was plowed. So there's no weeds in that field. Excuse me, freaks. Loser coming through. Yeah, so no worries on that. Here, let's peek over here quickly. I don't want to panic. Like, I'm sitting on $1.5 million at peak value of wood chips, which is the plan, right? I mean, that's our bankroll right there. So I don't want to panic and then, like, for example, when one of these fields, so there's the combo, the sunflower field, and then there's the lime field, which, maybe that means somebody's getting ready to put something into it, so we might want to consider that. And then there's our corn field, and then there's the far field. So those fields right there, I kind of want to buy and then merge them. Like I said, not this one over here, because I do use this road quite a bit. I don't want to get rid of the road. I mean, if I don't have cash right now, I don't want to feel like I've got to, quickly go out and get the cash, like liquidating stuff that's not ready to be sold. I don't really want to do that, but let's go over here. It feels so weird driving through the crops. So this is affectionately known as the trifecta field, because we took 3 fields and merged them. Kind of a stupid name, but anyways, I have the field created. So I think what I'm going to do is go into Courseplay and get a route set up. I'll run out of the way before I get nailed. I didn't spend the $40,000 for the spot spraying. that could be something for, well, so it's just giving it a gentle dousing. You know, the thought being that normally what I would do is I would spray the field right after seeding it. So obviously there'd be no weeds showing, and then I'd see no weeds. But I don't know. This will be good for now, I think. All right, so I just realized that I was thinking that we would go and mow the grass. There's not a lot of stuff to get done right now. We're harvesting corn is going to be coming up next for us, but I will need some hay bales. So I was just thinking, well, I may as well get to mowing the grass that's ready. But the mower we have, this Doots doesn't really do so well. If I remember correctly, anyways, it doesn't really do so well with the mower combination that we have. So I need the Massey, which is now being used. So let's get some. I mean, these guys don't need this hay right now, but at least we can sort of stack up a couple bales, so it's there when they get to that point. I'm gonna have to come up with a better solution here because, you know, we're gonna be creating some hay bales when we mow, and I can't just keep stacking them on this trailer and leaving them. I know these cows are probably like, whoa, dude, we can't eat that much. Chill out. Like, come on, eat. Come on, cows. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't jump and, you know, use this space for something else right away. I like the idea of having our cows on our lot here. You know, whether or not we put our house here is another question. I thought that maybe we would put our house on this lot, but, you know, right now we'll just live in our trailer and, you know, sacrifice our comfort and overall happiness for the farm, and in time we'll find a place to build a house maybe. But because if I put more cow sheds here, I'm certainly not going to want to live on this property. I don't know that I want to live right next to a bunch of cows with the manure and the noises and all that stuff. So here, we'll put this back, and then see where our buddy is over there. I guess we can probably at least bring the tedder over with this tractor. The temptation to mow the grass and then put all of it into the fermenter so we can get some silage to then send to the BJ. The temptation is there, but I know that we're going to need to feed some cows at some point here. So okay, where is... I guess that tedder's already over there. Alright, it looks like our friend is just about done here. Just what we wanted, a bunch of ugly burned out weeds in our field, so that's fantastic. There we go, we're going to get that last little bit. And then I think what we'll do is we'll go put this sprayer away. This will come in handy for us because we will make a point to spray everything. Right, so as we harvest, we'll spray. Yeah, so then we can avoid these weeds. Obviously, if we're plowing, then we won't need to worry about it, but typically we don't go and plow a field right after we harvest it and before we want to put more seeds in the ground. Okay, so I gotta put fancy piece of equipment like this. Should we put it in the shed? I guess so, eh? Whoa. Let me just destroy it first. I'm going to get out of these narrows, and then we're going to head over to do some mowing. Just thinking on my way over here. So basically we have 3 canola fields planted, and I'm talking about waiting to plant here. We're going back. Well, let's stop here for 1 second. So right now it's September. We can only plant wheat and barley. Wheat, of which we could use when we get our flour mill going. Barley, I'm assuming we can also make barley flour, both of which will provide straw for us. So that's a good thing. But if we wait, so if we plow our cornfield, or if we harvest our cornfields and then we wait, and that includes that big field that we merged already that used to have oats in it, and then we bought the wheat one next to that. So if we don't plant anything in there, i.e. wheat or barley, and we go to the spring, now all of a sudden we're going to have a lot of options, right? We can pretty much plant everything. I want to make an oil mill with, right, I want an oil mill basically. So we're going to be looking for, once we get that $1.5 million over the winter time with the wood chips being sold, then we're going to look to grab something large where we can plant sunflowers. We all already have canola going. We want a bunch of stuff that we can generate oil crops for. But then we're also going to need stuff for flour. So I gotta watch that. I just gotta watch that. Right now, we're only going to have barley, or we're only going to have canola planted until the spring. Canola and grass. I guess that's not the end of the world. That's not a bad position to be in. Okay, I blocked myself from even getting the mower, so that's smart. All right, let's see if this works. I wasn't recognizing the 10-meter mower, so I had to kind of manually input that. Hopefully that doesn't mean he's then going to be smashing into signs. There's a couple challenges to this this field, and most of them come along this side over here, where there's at least one sign, and then the corner over here. Here, coming with you, buddy. Be nice in Farming Simulator 25. If you jump on something that's moving, it'd be nice if you move with it. You can see the remnants of one of my failed attempts here with this grass all along the side here. Okay, so that's good. I didn't see... Yeah, okay, so I went with a 0.2 inset, which is leaving some grass on the edges. But I don't mind that. It's not like... I think I've said this before. It's not like it's a crop. It is a crop, I guess. It's grass, but it's not like I'm leaving corn or something, right? Yeah, okay. And then, so I can always make one pass afterwards, which is fine. It looks like I have the option to set the mower to swath dropping, but then it doesn't actually do anything. So all it does is this. Maybe these are swaths? I don't know. Okay, what could go wrong, right? So we have the mower on the inside now with the 10-meter working width, and then we have the tedder rocking the outside lane right now. I think once they start doing the up and downs or the back and forths or whatever we're going to call it, we may have some issues. Plus, there's a little bit of grass I think I'm going to have to go and mow afterwards. I probably could have waited. Maybe I should have waited. This is the area where I would like to place the production, which is going to look like this. Yeah, so I mean, I tempted to use the old General Mill or whatever it is that we're using on Comlands, because I can basically make flour. I can do everything in that building, but I don't want to use something that we're using already. So I've not used this. This is oil specific, and it fits in. It's sort of in keeping with what I was saying I want to do on the map, where if there's a production available, I would like to have to purchase that first before I put in my own version. So if I did put in that old General Mill, then it sort of defeats the purpose. There is a grain mill here on the map. It is a sell point, really, a delivery point. But by owning that production, I could then begin to make flour. And then if I had so much capacity or input to make flour and it wasn't keeping up, then I could put in my own mill down here. But as of right now, we're going to be putting this in. So that's $80,000. I don't have it yet, and I also don't have an abundance of when we'll really need this is when that first canola harvest happens, or if something happens and we just so happen to buy or we buy a sunflower field that's ready to harvest. Then we'll need obviously we'll be able to put those sunflowers into the oil mill. So these guys are hopefully not running into each other. Alright, we can get this parked up. I was going to go around and mow up some of the scraps, but what's the point? There's always lots of grass available. Okay, so the trick here is to remember to drop the rear mower first before before dropping the front one. Otherwise, we'll be looking at the sky. All right, I actually wanted to wait until this worker was done before I launched in with the windrow, because I think what I can do is put the I can put the baler on the back of this, and then I can set this up to follow me around. And then it's kind of like I only have to go around once with the windrow. This whatever worker will bale for me, and then we just have to go and pick the bales up, which can be the largest pain in the backside. But all right, so as long as I am cognizant of the fact that I have a baler behind us, so we don't make any weird moves, for example, this should work out just perfectly. Make some bales for us. No sharp corners. That's obviously one of the tricks. Or I'll be out here picking the grass up myself. Or hay, I guess. Yeah, let's do this instead of going. Yeah, that's good. That'll be easier for them to follow. Instead of trying to make the corner on the field, they'll just drive off the field, and then we'll just head back on here. Oh, it looks like it's working. I like it when stuff works. Everybody's probably that way. The amount of things that don't work in Farming Simulator, especially after you put in all the effort, you know, you earn the money, you know, have a plan, you commit to it, and then, you know, that tool that's on ModHub that's supposed to help you turns out to be a nightmare, or just a joke, really. Less of a nightmare, more of a joke when things don't work properly. I think the trick is just not to get too far ahead. I've done that in the past where I'm like, I'll just cruise through and they'll follow me, and then once you get a couple of passes ahead of them, then they just stop following you. And then you got to go and do it yourself, which sucks. It's the reason why we hire workers in the first place, right? So we don't have to do it ourselves. I think they've been training their workers, because not only, well, it just looks like they're not leaving any grass behind, which is kind of cool. Maybe they taught them how to actually pick up grass. This stuff is safe over here, so we'll just keep leaving this here, because, I mean, it's not like I'm baling straw, because that's all going into the, it's not like I'm baling straw because I'm using the forage wagon for that. And then it's all going right into the silo. Okay, so we need to grab a trailer. I like this trailer for delivering to the supermarket, because then I don't have to back up that dolly trailer. And I had a couple of massive stutters on the way over here. I've I finally updated Farming Simulator to 1.14 or whatever. I think it's 1.14. I've been running 1.13 out of fear that I guess I'm just so used to stuff failing. So when it comes to updating the game, I'm always worried that it's gonna just kill everything that I've already got going on. So I don't tend to update it. But so I finally did that. But I did notice that in a couple places I'm running into some stuttering, I guess, as it's reloading shaders, perhaps. I want to say that update came out in like March. So So yes, I'm a little bit behind. Not sure what other... I'm not even sure what the update was for. I can't remember. I think that was around the premium expansion, was it? I don't even know. That is behaving very strangely. Okay, that was weird. I just had this feeling the thing was just going to fly into outer space. Perfect. Okay, and what's not perfect is how many bales that we have to put onto the trailer. That's going to be fun. Is fun the right word for that? I think so. So let's do that, and then we'll have an idea how many bales we actually have. I guess I can go back and check the tape of where we loaded up the other trailer, because I think it showed how many liters of hay we had. That would give us an idea whether we're up or down or similar or whatever. So I really want to get back to some form of consistent posting, uploading. I was really enjoying the pace of everything. I was really enjoying the conversation, the feedback, the ideas. I really like that part of it. And I mean, granted, while my work and my family are fulfilling, we need those YouTube comments. So anyways, yeah, I would like to figure out how to get back to that schedule. I can't see myself probably till the winter time getting to the point where I can post like 5 videos a week. That just seems like a little far off, but you know, if I could get out 3 videos a week, that would be 3 more than what I've been doing recently, that's for sure. But I also will, you know, promise that I won't just make videos and slap them up on YouTube for the sake of slapping a video up there. We'll try to have some fun and make them make sense. I mean, you know, this episode here was kind of a recap episode, right? You know, it's been a little while since I've checked in, and like I mentioned, I mean, I've been playing the game, which I kept trying to stop myself. So don't play too far ahead. But in the end, I thought I would just do like 3 voiceover type episodes where I can cut the footage and then just commentate. But it's funny with this map. I don't know what it is, but as things progress, it's exciting, right? So as I add a field, as I clear out some trees, as I grab a contract, like, I don't know, it's just a fun map to progress on. Probably because it's not too cumbersome either. Like, it's not a huge map. What was kind of a pain in the butt at the beginning, getting around, has become not all that bad. But then I haven't really, you know, had to get up to that store where we take the shortcut through the farm field there or anything. So mostly because, you know, the contracts I was doing were fertilizing contracts, and I haven't really been jumping on all the harvesting contracts. Probably because we have, you know, some of our own money now. So I think we had, when we stacked up the first bales, I want to say we had about 145,000 liters of hay. So we'll see what this equates to, if it tells us. I mean, at 72.50, so we're almost 15,000 liters for 2 bales. I think it's like 14.5. So that's 58,000 right there. What's that, 8 bales? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I don't know. We're, I know Krustoo mentioned this in one of his episodes, but we're currently in a massive heat dome, I guess is that what they're calling it, here in eastern Ontario, Canada, where I think went out to a job today, and the temperature in the truck read like 36 degrees Celsius, and it was supposed, with the humidex, it was supposed to feel somewhere in the high 40s. Now, the work we were doing today was in a 200-plus-year-old farmhouse, which had no air conditioning. So there's a lot of camera work and stuff happening, and cameras were overheating. I was overheating. It was not awesome at all. I did see they had I guess this was a 300-acre farm at one point that had been in this individual's family for many, many years, and at some point had whittled this property down from 300 acres to like 17 acres. Why is it sticking? Obviously not a farm the way it had been in the past, but what I thought was cool is they had like a shed out back with what I think was the only tractor, and I don't know what this was, but it was what looked like a large tractor, open cab, Ford with a loader arm on the front. And yeah, I could just picture, I'm like, oh, that would be a nice way to spend the day, bumping around on that giant Ford tractor, picking up bales with a bale spike or something like that, putting them on a trailer, start drinking sweet tea or something. Might as well try to put 3 on at once for the last one here. Ooh. Oh, come on. 123. Yeah, I don't think I got as many bales this time for some reason. How's that even possible? I'm not too sure. I wonder if I took the bales off that other field over there. Oh, these ladies have hay and then backup hay. So let's get those trailers moved out of the way, and then we'll see if we can fit that in there. Should fit. That's got to be enough cover for now. There's no way I can park that in the shed though. It needs to be a pull through. Man, we made a lot of money with these trailers. Although, we should probably sell them. Because they're not doing us any good just having them around. That's perfect. These we're just going to go put on the grass over here for now. Or maybe, well, can I fit them behind the silo maybe? Perfect. Out of sight and out of mind. All right, so I think that's going to wrap it up for now, guys. I mean, we did get some mowing done, which is nice. We got some bales put away. And we got the sprayer. We have a sprayer now, and we sprayed the canola field. Also, it was nice to get you caught up, so you knew what happened over the last months in game. I will really try not to advance like that, but I just couldn't record anything, or I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't record any audio. Really, is what it was, but. I could definitely play, so I did, and the result is what you saw earlier. So if you like this, if you like that, please go ahead and give this video a like. If you are not subscribed to the channel and you want to, go for it. If you don't want to and you just want to watch the videos, well, that's fine too. And if you would like to provide any feedback, you want to just send me a tractor emoji or you want to chat about something, then that's where what you do in the comments down below. All right, so with that, we will see you likely probably still in September, but who knows? We may end up in October where I think all hell's going to break loose. All right, take it easy.